Owning a good e-bike these days feels out of reach for a lot of people. Prices keep climbing, and not everyone wants to replace a perfectly good bike just to get a little electric assist. But that's where things start to get interesting, because something new has popped up that might actually make e-biking a lot more accessible. It's called Camingo, and instead of being a full e-bike, it's a compact conversion kit that turns your existing bike into an electric one. We've seen kits like this before and even tested a few, but this one is catching a lot of attention, especially with an early bird price sitting around $350. Naturally, that made me want to take a closer look. Camingo is brand new on Kickstarter, and the response has been kind of wild. The campaign blew past its $10,000 goal by more than 15 times, which is usually a good sign that people are genuinely excited about it and not just curious. What really makes Camingo stand out is how much power they've packed into something so small. The entire system weighs just 2.3 kilograms, yet it delivers up to 750 watts of peak power and 40 newton meters of torque. That's a lot of punch for a drive unit that can basically sit in the palm of your hand. The setup is made up of three main parts. There's the rear-mounted motor, which weighs under a kilogram, the battery at about 1.4 kilograms, and a handlebar-mounted controller. That controller lets you switch speed modes, use a thumb throttle, and keep an eye on your riding stats through a small display. Now imagine you've just opened the box and you're about to upgrade your bike. According to Camingo, the whole installation process takes just a few minutes. The battery mount goes where your water bottle normally sits, the motor attaches to the seat stays, and the controller base clips onto your handlebars. Once everything is mounted, getting ready to ride takes seconds. You drop in the battery, snap the controller in place, clip on the rear motor, engage it so it presses against the tire, and you're rolling. If this sounds familiar, that's because the rear-wheel drive concept is similar to systems like PicaBoost or RubbyX, which use friction drive to assist your pedaling. Once powered on, Camingo offers some solid performance. Riders in the US can hit speeds of up to 20 miles per hour, while European riders are capped at 25 kilometers per hour to meet local regulations. Range is where things get a little confusing. On the Kickstarter page, Camingo claims up to 90 kilometers of range under ideal conditions, which would be incredible. However, a separate press release mentions a peak range closer to 30 kilometers on a single charge. That's a pretty big difference, so there may be some context missing here, possibly involving regenerative braking or additional battery packs. We'll definitely need more clarity on that. What we do know is that the battery is 266 watt-hours and can be fully recharged in about 3 hours using a magnetic fast charging system, which is honestly pretty convenient. Some people might worry about extra wear on their rear tire since this is a friction-based system, but Camingo says they've thought about that too. There's a built-in sensor that adjusts how much pressure the motor applies to the tire, aiming to balance performance with tire longevity. At this point, it really comes down to whether you're willing to back the project and wait. Deliveries are expected to start in December 2025, which lines up nicely with the holiday season, assuming everything stays on track. As for the usual Kickstarter fears, it's worth noting that this project has reportedly been in development since 2022 and is backed by a team with experience at companies like BYD and Huawei. They're public, visible, and clearly putting their names behind it, which helps build some confidence.